topic today, I'm going to talk about how to overcome pain and identity crisis. So why have I chosen this topic? So I have chosen this topic because I once looked at in front of the mirror. I woke up one day, looked at myself in front of the mirror, and at that moment I decided that I remember feeling that having this feeling inside of me when I looked at myself in front of the mirror, the feeling of enough is enough. The reason why I felt that way is because I didn't know who I was. Not knowing who I was, I was a person without a sense of identity. And I followed people. I felt disconnected from who I've been. I don't know if you have felt that way, where you feel completely disconnected. You're living your life, you have everything that you have ever wanted, but it's not the feeling of being unhappy, but it is that feeling of the disconnection of the things that you do, the people that you hang out with, and it doesn't connect with your feelings, the things that you do each and every day. You're not connecting with it. So that's how I felt. There was a disconnection between me and my world. It was the reason why I felt that way. It was because I was surrounded by people, by the wrong people who looked me down, and I believed it. The environment, I was being criticized by people around me, and I believed it. When people criticize you, if you're not confident enough, if you don't know who you are, you will believe whatever people say about you. You will start believing, you start following everyone around you, whatever they are doing, the music they like, the clothes they like, the shoes they like, how they speak, whatever they do. At the time I wasn't on social media. I joined the social media, I think it was 2008 or 2009. That's how I joined the social media, but I can't blame social media. So all these things happened because of the environment, because of the people that I was surrounded by, and because of the confidence that I didn't have confidence within myself. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in me. I didn't believe in the person who I wanted to become. I knew who Noms was. I knew the things that I wanted. But I started following my friends. I started following my family. I started following and doing the things that I didn't want to do, and I felt disconnected, and that caused pain into my life. That caused pain, and it brought identity crisis in my life. So the signs, what are the signs when you feel disconnected with your world? Because I knew the world where I wanted to live in. I could play the movie in my head. I knew the world I wanted to live in. I knew my principles. I knew who I wanted to be. But because I wanted to fit in, so the signs were, if you feel disconnected, the signs at that moment, I was molded by relationships. When I say molded by relationships, it means when I meet a man in that relationship, they tell me their hobbies, they tell me the things they like. I'll try to fit in. I'll change my hobbies. I'll change my appearance to match theirs. If my spouse didn't like this, they didn't like this, I'll change to try to fit in. I'll change my own identity, my own hobbies, everything that I like, basically trying to fit in. I'll give everything up and trying to fit in. So those were one of the signs. I changed with my environment. The second sign was I changed with my environment. So that means if I hang out with my friends who like feeling sorry for themselves, I just have to fit in. I'll just try my behavior changes. Every time I meet somebody, my behavior has to change. If I meet somebody who is chatty, I become chatty. But my personality is when I meet somebody, I have to be chatty, but I have to I let them in, but I have to get to know them, who they really are, not letting somebody in very quickly, but try to find out who they really are. That is my personality, is to get to know somebody and they get to know me. So for me, what I did was I will soon be that person. If I meet that person who's chatty, I'll just soon become them. It meant I was forming my personality not based on the choices that I wanted, based on basically that moment when I meet somebody, that's who I became. And that caused frustration in my life because I knew I wasn't happy. If I met somebody, they dress the way they dress, I'll start becoming that. So the number 3 is I didn't like being asked about myself. That is a big problem. That is a sign. When you don't like when people asking you about yourself, they are asking the basic things about you. They want to get to know you. And if you actually avoid the conversation, for me, I would try when somebody is asking about me, they want to get to know me. They want to know more about me. So I'll try to change the conversation and feel uncomfortable about that conversation of why are they asking me about my identity, and then I'll change the subject, turning the question around to them. And if they're saying something, I just agree to what they're saying because I don't want to offend them. I'm trying to fit in. I know who I am, but at that moment I'm trying to fit in with that person. So my identity crisis meant I'll feel bored. If I enter a relationship, I get bored very quickly. If I hang around with people, I get bored very quickly. Having that fear inside of me, when I get bored that quickly, I will have this fear inside of me that what people will think about me if they find out I'm not who I say I am. I think I have an allergy. I haven't got a cold. I think I have an allergy. That meant every time I enter a relationship, I'll protect myself, preventing me from having that real connection with people or with my spouse. So that was my story. I don't know, I think I have an allergy. I haven't got a cold, so I don't know what's going on. So that was Nomsa then. Then I will start basically having that fear in relationships, intimacy. And I used to have problems holding relationships. When I enter a relationship, if someone makes a mistake, so I'll start saying, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I find the other person, they are begging me. And those were the signs of me not knowing who I was. Instead of, if I wasn't happy, instead of telling the other person that I don't want to be with you anymore, fixing the problem, I wanted to run. That became a cycle that went on and on and on. Or sometimes I find myself hanging out with people that want to control my life and tell me what to do. I'll be frustrated, but then I'll do it anyway. That was my story. That was my crisis. And the other part is the other thing is when you actually deep down, you know you don't trust yourself. You're always doing things for people to like you. You think that if you don't do things that they do, they're not gonna like you. I was somebody that worked really hard at trying to fit in. The more I work hard at trying to fit in with someone, the more I fall back, because I didn't have confidence. And when you don't have confidence within yourself, you try to do something because that something you are doing is not you. You are gonna fall. You feel unhappy. You feel frustrated. So that was me. That was my identity. I didn't know who I was. I was lying to myself. And one day I looked at myself in front of the mirror. And I said, enough is enough. The person that I looked at in front of the mirror, it wasn't me. There was no connection. When I looked at myself, I didn't have connection with the person. I disconnected with myself, with my feelings. I disconnected myself with my own world. And I realized that everything that I have been doing all those years, I played football. I love football. But what I didn't do when I go on the pitch, I didn't swear, because swearing is against my beliefs. I didn't swear. But I just go have fun and played football. When I finished playing football, I would just enjoy myself, but I wouldn't enjoy myself to the full. If we go to an after party, football music is playing, I wouldn't go on stage and dance. But that was something that I loved. I loved dancing. I loved music. I wouldn't just get up and dance, worrying about what people think. Everything that my parents taught me and the person that I was when I was in Africa, I forgot all about it when I entered the United Kingdom. I tried to fit in with everybody. I was young, trying to fit in. Basically, that moment, you know, when you look at yourself in the mirror and you know that this is a copy, you know that this is not you. So I decided to change everything. When I looked at that mirror in front of the mirror that day, I decided things got to change. There were layers in my life that didn't save my world. I'm not gonna blame people, but there were layers in my life that norms I had created that it didn't save anyone. It didn't save me. It didn't save my friends, because if I go, I've realized that moment that when I went to meet my friends, I behaved like them. That means they didn't know me. They didn't know the real me. They didn't know who I was. So they get to know somebody that wasn't me. I needed to change my identity. Not to change my identity, I needed to unleash it within. It was there with me, but I needed to bring it out. I needed to see things as they were, not making excuses, not blaming my parents, not blaming my childhood. I ate food that I didn't like. I hang out with people that I didn't like to hang out with. I hang out with people that I had nothing in common with. At the time, it was fun. I thought I was having fun, but I wasn't. So how did I change it? How did Nomsa change Nomsa? I had to call myself out. I called myself out in front of that mirror, because when I looked at Nomsa in front of that mirror, I wasn't looking at Nomsa. I was looking at something that had been copied. I was looking at somebody else's character. I was looking at somebody else's identity. So I had to call myself out. And the lies, and face the lies that I've been telling myself. I had to accept who I am. I had to accept Nomsa fully, and I had to forgive myself for lying to myself. I had to accept me without judging me. I had to run the race without anyone running with me. I had to run the race without competing with anyone, knowing that this is me. Every pain that I'm facing, it is me. Every mistake that I'm making, it is me. Every person that I'm meeting, that connection, they are connecting with me. Every person, when I met somebody on a date, I made sure that they are meeting the real Nomsa. If you didn't like the real Nomsa, it was fine, it was okay. I didn't have to pretend to be something that I'm not. I had to let go of lies. When I used to Paul McKenna's programs, there was a part where if I needed to change, I need to stop telling lies that I've been telling myself. When I'm saying the lies, I'm not talking about the lies that I've been telling myself. The little porcupines. When you meet somebody, there are sometimes people, when they meet people, they tell a little bit of lies. They tell the truth about who they are, and they tell a little bit of lies because you are trying to fit in with people. So I had to change that. I had to be true to myself. There was that part where it says, you want to change, you can start by, if you sometimes you tell a little bit of lies, trying to fit in with people, you need to get rid of that. So I had to get rid of it. It was hard, it was tough. So I had to get rid of it. Telling porkies, real porkies, I had to get rid of it. When I meet people, I am Nomsa. This is who I am. This is what I do. Not telling porkies, trying to fit in with somebody. I stopped blaming my parents. You know, sometimes there's a time where you look back in your childhood, you find something. If things didn't go the way that you wanted, or maybe your parents were not perfect, you look back and then you start saying, I am who I am because of this, because of my parents. I had to stop blaming my parents. I had to stop blaming the divorce of my parents. I had to stop that, because those were the lies that I was telling myself. And I had to see things as they are. When you see things as they are, it means if your life is no good, it is not good. There are no excuses. You cannot make an excuses and say my life is good when I looked at my life, my surrounding, the things that I did, my relationship, nothing was right. The only thing that helped me was the frustration. I just go to the beach, get the frustration, the emotions. I just work on my emotions, and I just work hard. But when I get home, I look at my surroundings, I look at everything. I have everything, but I wasn't happy. I had to stop blaming my exes. I had to write down what it means being true to yourself. If I was to be true to Nomsa right now, what does it mean? I had to face the truth of who I am. Who is Nomsa? I had to define Nomsa. I had to work on my confidence, because I wasn't confident. I didn't have enough confidence. I had to let go of people. I had to let go of some places. I'm not saying, I need you to understand, I'm not saying you go around getting rid of people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying those words. For me, there were some people that were in my life. I'm a Christian. That means my character has to represent the kingdom of God. If I'm reading the Bible, my character has to represent who I say I am. I'm a Christian. I wore ripped jeans. I wore tops that show my boobies. My boobies will just go out. When I'm going out, people can see my boobies. Cleavage, look at me. But when I get home, I hold the Bible and I say, Jesus, amen. But my character didn't represent that, because I wasn't who I say I am. I was lying to myself. I had to let go of people because of the environment. I had to let go of places that were causing pain, in the places that I visited with my exes, the places that where when I visit them I feel pain. So I had to let those places go. In my heart, I can still visit them, but with Nomsa, not with anyone else. I can visit them as Nomsa. So those are the things that I had to let go. I had to let go of my past. There are some things in my past that didn't represent me. So I had to let go of that pain of my past. I dated men that rejected me, but I was still holding on to that pain. I surrounded myself with people that thought they were better than me. So I had to let go of that rejection that I was holding on to. I had to let go of not knowing who I was. That is my past. I had to let go of that Nomsa that didn't save, Nomsa this, Nomsa that was inside of me. I had to tell myself the truth, that I don't like this person that I'm looking in front of, that I'm looking at in front of the mirror. This person did not represent the Nomsa that I want. This person did not represent who I was. I thought I was a Christian. I didn't know how to fast. I didn't know how to have time to read the Bible. When I make a decision, I didn't know how to sit down and pray to God and say, God, help me with this. I didn't know how to ask whatever the universe you believes. I didn't know how to ask. I didn't know how to seek. I just went along with the world. I followed the world. I didn't have a voice. Everything that I'm speaking right now is something that I've done. Not doing this for the talk show. It's something that I did. I wear ripped jeans. I'm saying I'm a Christian, but I'm wearing ripped jeans. Monday to Friday, Sunday, I'm in church. I'm praising God. Hallelujah. But in the day, summertime, I'm wearing ripped jeans. My boobs are out. But because I didn't know my identity. When I look at social media, I look at people, I'm like, wow. I want to wear that. I love that. I just go and buy it. I'm not saying ripped jeans are wrong. Ripped jeans are cool. But do they represent a child of God? No. A body needs to remain closed. The boobies needs to remain private. But I thought I was a child of God. But I was lying. I go and play football. I have fun. That was the thing, football and music, that was the thing that I was honest. All these years that I have lived all my life, it was the things that when I enter football pitch, I know that I'm where I need to be. When I'm singing my music, I know I'm where I need to be. But when it comes to things, making decisions, my personality, I didn't know who I was. I'm not saying when you wear the things, when you read the Bible, that character, you listen to God is character, Jesus is character. He has his own commandment. You want to enter my kingdom, you have to follow my commandments. So I wanted to enter his kingdom, but I did not follow his commandment. So that's when made me realize that, okay, I am saying this is Nomsa. Do I have principles in place? So if I have principles in place, I need to practice those principles myself before anybody else can enter my life and love me, before anyone can enter my life and connect with me, intimacy in my world. So those are the things that I had to work on myself. When I go to the shops, sometimes I just buy things because I saw somebody else wearing them, until I looked at this and I was like, I don't like this. Why am I wearing this? Some of the clothes, actually, some of the clothes that were new, some of the ripped jeans, I kept them, they new. I chucked them away. I was like, I look at them, I was like, if I'm not gonna wear them, I'm not gonna give them to somebody else. I chucked them away. I had to throw them in the bin, the actually black bin, not the recycle one, because I didn't want to give somebody the things that I didn't want. And that moment, I knew who I wanted to be. I wanted to be Nomsa. I wanted to be a proper Christian where I can fast. I can fast. The longest I fasted is 40 days. I can fast for 40 days. It's 40 days or 20 days? 40 days. That's the longest that I've done. And that makes me happy because I know who I am. I don't expect, when I meet somebody, I don't expect people telling me they are Christian to behave like me. No, I don't. But before, I will be judgmental. In my heart, not saying out loud, I'll be judgmental. But now I don't. Because I know that we all have layers that we have to figure out. And when somebody, the beautiful thing is when somebody figure things out by themselves, the layers, they start removing the layers in their lives, the layers that they don't want. They start putting the layers that they want. They start planting seeds that they want. That is the most beautiful thing that money cannot buy. Not me wanting somebody to change to be something that I don't want to be. I want to be. I enter somebody else's environment. I behave that way. But now I don't. And I've forgiven myself for behaving that way. So if you're watching Ghost Talk Show, and you want to find your identity, you have identity crisis, first you have to get rid of the layers that do not serve you. And you can't look at somebody and judge somebody or blame somebody. You have to look at yourself. You know the things that you want to change in your life. You have to look at those things and change them without having to judge anyone. That's what I did. I look at myself in front of the mirror, and I wasn't the person that I thought I was, and I knew I was telling myself lies, and I knew what kind of a person that I wanted to be. Sometimes, when I was in Africa, my parents taught me the unconditional love. I was raised by my grandmother. My grandmother used to preach unconditional love. She would say beautiful things about my mom, beautiful things about my dad. Unconditional love. I love my mom, love my dad. But then I come to the UK, it's a different culture. Actually, I started in South Africa when I turned, I think 18, 19, 20. That's when I started trying to fit in with everybody. Behave. I didn't drink beer, thank God for that, or smoke. I just start behaving the way they behave because I'm trying to mingle. But now, if I go to a party, the music plays. I don't have to wait for somebody to get on stage and dance. I just go and dance. I enter my own world and just have fun. Because the talk show is something that I love. Hope Springs Eternal Introduction Agency is something that I love. I love connecting people. I love helping people. And that's something that I love. What I do now is something that I love to do. The music, I love music. Maybe someday, I love music. When I got rid of my identity, I was singing pop music. I basically stopped singing because of that. And I was like, I'm a child of God. Why am I singing this? That's when I stopped music. I went to The Voice audition. When did I went to audition for The Voice? 2010, I think. Yeah, I went to 2010. Then I had a chest infection. I didn't go to a live show. But then I decided after that to get to know the real me. And that's when I decided I'm not gonna do pop music. I'm not gonna do nothing, because that wasn't me. That was not my identity. That was then I began to find out who I was, because I was lying. I know there are some people who are my friends. I used to sing with them in London. I used to, I met so many people, went to Tech Music School in London, Vocal Tech. But instead of focusing on gospel music, I focused on other things because I just wanted to fit in. I didn't know who I was. My life was completely messed up. So if you're watching Ghosty Talk Show, we are here Monday to Friday, 1 p.m. UK time. Monday to Friday. So today I'm on my own because of the circumstances. People put their names down and then the circumstances arise, so they have to, family comes first. So Ghosty Talk Show, we are here Monday to Friday. If you are looking for love, you can go to www.hseia.com, Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency, and find love. Just fill out an application form and we'll get back to you. Live with grace, everyone, and God bless you. Be the person that you want to be, not you are expected to be. It's okay to have an identity crisis, but it's not okay to stay in that, to stay down. Forgive yourself and find your identity by telling yourself the truth and not the lies, not the excuses. I'm here because I am, because of my ex. I'm here because of who I am, because of my parents. Maybe their lives were messed up as well. So when you start growing up, you start realizing that, okay, this is how my life was. But I found myself, I've come to realize that the things that I was raised, or the things that I was taught when I was a child, they're not moving me forward. So you can undo them and create your own. For me, I was lucky. My father taught me so many good things in my life, but I tried to fit in. And my mom, she used to teach me so many things. My grandmother, but I tried to fit in. You know, when you want to fit in, you can't help it. So that was me. That was my identity. But now I'm living my life. I refuse when people try to control me. I refuse when my voice tries to control somebody else. I don't want to control anyone. I refuse. My head, you know, sometimes your voice is, people cannot agree in one thing, but you don't have to try to control somebody. When my voice is trying to control somebody else, I'm aware of it. I say, no, Nomsa, their way. They want to do something, let them do it their way, and accept that. And that's me, even if I don't agree with it. So I have to, because when you love somebody, you have to let them be. So I let them be. I tell myself that, because no one agrees with anyone. But then you have to find your own personality. You have to make your own choices in life. And when somebody else enters your life, you have to let them be. And that's what is something that I used to struggle with. So God bless you. and live with grace, everyone.